Hey y'all, it's your girl Siobhan Danielle back with another vlog. It's like dark and I don't want to open the blinds. Honestly, it's one of, oh, my scalp itch. I'm allergic to the hair. But I just gotta say, this movie came out on Netflix called Don't Move. I don't even remember if I spoke to y'all about it. But it was so, no, I spoke to somebody else about it. But it was so dumb because she went, whatever she was going through, I'm probably, well, from the movie, it seems as if she had a child. Her child passed away, and her and her husband going through a rough time, and she felt like she wanted to end her life. So she went on top of the rocks, like she went to the trail, and she went on top of the thing to maybe like jump off, to end her life or whatever. And then this random person comes, and he sits there and he starts talking to her and essentially he talks her down from jumping off the rocks or whatever. But it was just so awkward because it's like nobody was out there, and nobody was out there when she came. Like there was literally nobody around. So how the hell he knew? Like I don't even think that area was popular. I gotta go back and rewatch the movie. This is what I be fucking talking about. Cause what is that? Is that a piece? I hope they do room checks, cause sorry for getting off track, but like he just randomly followed or knew she was gonna be there. He had to be watching her because he knew exactly where she was. Like he followed the exact way she went up, right? And then he, like I said, talked her down from jumping up the rocks, and then he parked. But the thing is, like, when you park your car, you don't park your car that close to somebody. He parked his car so close to her so that when she tried to go in, she couldn't really open the door because his car was literally so close. And then he was in his car and he goes, "Oh snap, I boxed you in, or I blocked you in, or you can't get in your car." He said something of that sort. And then it was like, but then she's my size. She's very, very small, very thin. So you would think when he came around the other way, and he came around that way with something in his hand, like he was gonna hit her with something like an umbrella or something like that. I don't know. I was skipping through the movie because that's how trash it was. And then next thing you know, it goes to the next part where her hands is tied and she's in the back of his truck. Like the little area when you, like, instead of going through the back where you go through the front where there's a little bit of space, she could have picked up her strength and jumped over the thing. She had the keys in her hand, her car keys in her hand, where she could have freaking went on the passenger side of on the other side of the car. It was just, I don't know. That shit was so trash. And I was just looking at that, and then people was like, the movie was so good. I think the only anticipation not anticipation, the only thing that made the movie so good is the fact that he told her he injected her with something, and he told her in 20 minutes, your body will shut down. Your legs will be paralyzed. You won't be able to move your fingers. You won't be able to move your legs. Your heart rate will start slowing down. You won't be able to speak. The only thing you'll be able to do is move your eyes. And if she start running or doing anything, it's not gonna do nothing. But because it's inside her blood, if you like panic or something, it's not gonna do nothing but make it work faster. So that's the only reason why I could understand people like the movie was good like that, because of the anticipation surrounding her being injected with whatever it was and her body shutting down, and she got to fight. And she's telling, like, she's literally, somebody found her. She's telling them, don't open the door just by her eyes and stuff like that. But I'm just like, he literally kept her from jumping off the things, jumping off the rock, unaliving herself, just so he can take her life. That's the most stupidest shit I have ever seen. And I'm just like, He was praying, like he was praying on her. Like I think he had to be watching her, because how the hell? What the fuck? That's already on TV. He literally was following her, like he had to be, and it was just so weird. I got my nose when it starts getting to like fall, my nose start getting so dry that the boogers start getting hard. It's too much to deal with. I gotta call my mom, and I gotta tell her that my roommate was smoking in the room when I was gone. Literally, it's it's on the floor right there. So it's right there on the floor. Like she dropped it right there on the floor. Like you see it right there? That's literally. But then when I came back, oh, it's so messy over there. When I came back, the chair was in the bathroom in the shower. But my thing is, they already said don't smoke in the rooms. You cannot smoke in a room. You can't even have a candle. So if they said all of this at the floor meeting, why would you still even do it? Because first of all, there's sprinklers in here. Why would you want to trigger the sprinklers? And then on top of that, smoking leaves a fucking stench. So why would you want to be in a room? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But let me go ahead, and I'm about to watch a movie. I won't be going to the cab until like maybe 4 o'clock, getting my food and coming back. So, yeah. Peace out. I'm trying to find some topics to talk about, like some questions or anything. I don't know. Happy Christmas time. It's November 1st. But I came on here to say I'm watching a show called Teacup. It's with the girl that plays Serena in The Handmaid's Tale. And basically, it's called Teacup. I can't even really tell you what the fuck it's about. All I can tell you is that they live on the farm in a secluded area. And they live, like, in the farm, you got woods and stuff. And it's, like, usually a safe area because that's your own property. So you know how to be in the woods and stuff like that. You got animals and all this other stuff. And the first episode, some lady is seemed to be, like, zombie looking from some type of chemical and stuff. And then Serena, I don't know what her name is in the show. But Serena and her husband, it's 2 kids. Son named Arlo and the oldest daughter named Meryl. The son go wandering off into the woods because the goat get out or something like that. And he stumbles upon the lady that looked like a zombie who might be infected by some type of chemical reaction. And she gets to his face and she blows. It's like somebody, like if you've seen any type of scary movie where they get close to the person's face and they breathe in, or like Beetlejuice. Like the new movie Beetlejuice, when the Beetlejuice wife, she was sucking the souls out of the body. That's basically what the lady with the zombie looking chemical fucked up person did. And they start saying this chant or something like that. I don't know what the words is, but they start chanting that shit and stuff. And so he comes back home, but then because they was looking for him and they couldn't find him, then they randomly found him. And he was saying something, his nose was bleeding. They're like, what's wrong? And then the power went out in the area. Because I think it's multiple people in the same area. Like they had people, the farm, and then they probably got people that work on the farm and stuff like that. And so one of the neighbors, I think they also have neighbors as well. So 2 of the neighbors, and they all fucking know each other basically. So they was all looking for the son. He finally came back. They saw something was wrong with him, and then they seen this man coming. I think they wanted, because he was cheating so much, and I think he started seizing or something like that, and they like need to go take him to the doctor. But it's like the car don't work. The car randomly stops working, and then somebody else go get their car. Their car don't start up, and then the lights shut off completely. So now they don't have any power. So now this person comes with a car. And then he gets out the car and he has like this mask. So what happens is, so there is some type of chemical leak, which so I'm gonna get to the next part. So the guy gets out the car and they go to the guy because they want him to help. Like, we need to get our son to the hospital. Something's wrong with him. He's seizing, he's chanting these words. You must know something because you randomly got a fucking mask on, like a gas tank mask. Like you going So like you know, like that scary movie. It wasn't really scary. It was called Quarantine, and they went into the house, but you needed to have a mask on so you wouldn't get like infected or stuff like that. So that's the type of mask he had on. He was writing. He couldn't really talk because he had the mask on. You won't hear nothing. So he was writing, "Stay here. You do not cross this line." So what happened is he got this little light thing, like you know how police officers use when there's blood and then you know somebody tries to clean it up, but then it's always little droplets. It's like I don't know what type of light it is, but it's like a glow in the dark type of thing. You go on the floor to see if there's like any excessive like or any other type of evidence and stuff. So that's what he was using on the thing, and he seen that there was some type of chemical on the floor. So he had like the spray paint, and he sprayed the line and stuff. He was like, "Do not cross this line. If you cross this line, there's chemicals that's in the air that you can get. Like literally, if you cross that line, you're fucking fried to death." So the guys, they knew to stay the line, but then it's like there's no service, no nothing, and the wives, they like, you know what, y'all bugging. I'm going home, and then they trying to tell the lady, "Do not cross the line." She like, "No, I'm going. We're gonna get help." As soon as she went online, she was like her skin melted, like fried her alive, literally burned her, like somebody throwing acid on you and your skin is melting. That's what it was. And then you dying. Well, there's nothing more you could do. You dying from the shock of it, but then it's still frying your skin. So essentially, she died literally like that, like hunched over. At first, there was a guy he was helping. I forgot what his name was, but he had the gun. Cause he's like a hunter and I think like a vet. I think it's a vet. Yeah, somebody that was in the military, Air Force, you know, a veteran. Okay, and he know how to work a gun. I guess anywhere, if you're a hunter or anything, you know how to work a gun. If you own a farm, you should know how to work a gun because you got to go hunting and all that other extra stuff. So it was like he had a gun. So then he went to go look for the kid, and he also said to them earlier in the first episode that there's this wolf going around, either a wolf or a dog, but something is wrong with it. It might have rabies, because you know when animals have rabies, they act irrational, and they start biting people and passing on the rabies like that, and something right here, and so when he came back, he was like, they couldn't find the son, but then he realized they found the son and stuff. But then he also, I think what happened was he knew they found the son, but also he wanted to go explore some more to see, because the kids said that they seen somebody. Yeah, so I think that's what he went. So they spread out and stuff like that because he had the gun, you know, everybody. So when he was coming back, he saw the dog or the wolf, whatever it was definitely infected. So he was running and stuff like that. The dog bit him. And then up until when the dog jumped over the fence, like they had to move the fence for the dog to run over. So the dog ran over the fence. This was before this was this man's wife who had went over the thing and got with, because she was like, she didn't want to stay there no more. But this was before this happened. The dog crossed the line, and that's when the guy with the mask was standing there trying to tell them not to stay there, but they didn't really believe him. So when the dog crossed over, the dog literally fucking bolted and melted and all that extra shit and stuff. So that's when that guy was like, "Do not come over this line. You can cross the line." I think what happened was, I don't know. I really don't know how it was, because in one of the episodes, somebody was on that side already and crossed over. But if they had crossed back over, then they would die. But if you was already on the side that wasn't infected, if you crossed over, you was immediately dying. So I guess the person who was already over there with the infected was already like in the skin and stuff like that, already infected. So when they came over, I don't know. It was very weird. I didn't understand. But yeah. So now they gotta try to figure out a way, and then some random person came to the house, like. The guy with the mask, he left, and I guess he was working on something. Something happened. Some meteor or something landed over there or in the vicinity of where that house was, and infected everything in the woods. So whatever animal got infected, it passed on through others. It might have bit the lady, and she got infected, and it needed somebody to feed on. It needs a fresh body to feed on. So it fed on the child. And then with that, he's already infected. But the thing is, I don't think it's infecting his body the way it infected the lady. So usually people who have already have like diseases or anything going on, whatever is inside your body, it basically tears your body from the inside out, and all that other stuff it rejects. Like you getting a piercing, but then the skin start rejecting it, basically that way. And then so I get, like I was saying, somebody came to the house doing some type of inspection, but they wanted to take the child. You know, she not gonna let nobody take her child and stuff. He had what the little kid had inside his body, this guy also had inside his body. So now it's two of these things roaming, but one is trying to save the family, telling them what to do, and then the other one is trying to take the kid and kill him or whatever. So it passed the little soul sucking thing on to the grandmother of the two kids, the little boy Arlo and the daughter Meryl. So now she's missing and all this other stuff, and they realize, okay, now it's in her. But then now there's these two Hispanic couples. There's one Hispanic couple, right? So found out that the Hispanic couple, I don't know what the name is, but the woman, she had an affair with Arlo's dad. She was having an affair. Mind you, I think the Hispanic couple work on the farm, will come and all that other stuff. They're all neighbors. But she was having an affair. The only reason why I opened this camera is because I came to a scene where they started talking about it, because I think basically the mom, I think she was checked out emotionally, or like emotionally unavailable, but still was able to give some type of emotion. Just wasn't enough for the father. So basically taking all her time and energy, putting it into the kids, and the father feeling left out. So he felt like he didn't have no control over his life, to that point where he needed to go and cheat to get that sense of self. And I just feel like, what the fuck even is that? Like, why do men keep saying that? So because your woman is not showing you no attention, because she's giving all the attention to the kids, which y'all created together, and you feel like because you're not getting no attention, you either start cheating or you either start putting your hands on it. Because that's usually what happens. The emotional abuse start happening and the physical abuse start happening. Because cheating with other people, that's emotionally abuse. That's emotional abuse. Like, you start cheating, the woman finds out, and then you start gaslighting her and telling her what she sees is not real. Manipulates her. Like, I can clearly see you're having an affair with her, and you're trying to tell me that I do not see that you're having an affair with her. Like, all the evidence points to you having an affair, and you act like the evidence isn't real. That's just like me telling you I seen you outside with the girl with my own eyes, and you're gonna say you believe your eyes over me. You not that ass? You that ass? Are you fucking serious? But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. That was crazy to even say. But I hate, like, that's just always the go-to. It's always the go-to. And I thought about physical abuse because of Keke Palmer and her situation with her child's father. And I think she wrote a book. And she just had a interview. He was physically abusing her. He was putting his hands on her. Even after the baby, but I don't even remember if she said that was going on before the baby was born. I think some type of verbal abuse was going on before the baby came, and then once the baby came, it became too stressful, and he started physically abusing her. But then it's like, and then she was like, it was getting so out of control where I had no choice but to get the court involved to control it. And it was like, the way she was explaining the situation is literally how a victim speaks. She's gonna do absolutely anything she can to try to lessen what he was doing. Like, I'ma read exactly what I wrote, because that's literally from a victim standpoint. Like, she literally trying to protect him so the son won't find out what he really did. Like, literally, that's it. I said, this is normal for victims of domestic violence to say they don't want their children to think their fathers are monsters, when in fact all he had to do was not put his hands on you. Like, she's still trying to protect his image when she shouldn't feel the need to do so. Of course, having kids is stressful, So when it gets stressful to the point you feel like because everything is so out of control, you deserve to put your hands on her in order to get some sense of control. Because literally that's what it was. She not giving you no attention no more. She was giving you all the attention she wanted, like all the attention that you liked. Once the baby came, she had to turn her attention over to him. So now she not giving you no attention. So now you feel like, oh, this bitch, I'm gonna put my hands on her, and that's literally. Of course, having kids is stressful. That doesn't mean you should result in putting your hands on the mother of your child. Like, that's literally from a victim standpoint. Like, she's literally still trying to protect his image. What she shouldn't need to feel, what she shouldn't have to do. She's the celebrity, not him. But then they also said that he already had a history, like the family had a history of abuse before her going into that. Because his brother played Dro on Insecure. You know, that tall, light-skinned guy who Molly was sleeping with when the guy was married, but he's saying that him and his wife had an open marriage and stuff like that. Yeah, Keke Palmer's baby daddy is his little brother. But then they also said that the mother was physically abused by their father, and she had to get a restraining order against him. So they grew up in that. And mind you, the girl that played Tasha on Insecure that Lawrence was sleeping with from the bank, she had a kid with Dro from the show. Like, she had a kid with him, and it was also said that he was physically abusive to her around the time when she was pregnant with his child, and she was fighting in the courts. Now, none of this came out until the situation with Keke Palmer and her son's father. We found out we was able to go more into depth. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words. Like, I'm trying to get it out, but it's just not forming. But we was able to, but you know how social media is when they find out situations and they get the documents and they post it on Instagram and stuff like that. So people were able to look more into her name is Dominique. So, and she was just in that show, De'Ara from Detroit. She was the girl Aja. Yeah, her name was Aja in the show. She was De'Ara's best friend. So basically, she was fighting to have her daughter with her here, with her daughter in a state where she lived at, but the father wanted the daughter over there, and she was finally able to get access to her, keep her daughter where she was at, because of that whole situation with I guess Keke situation, and Keke finally going to the courts was her calling of finally being able to shed some like you know how when one person speaks out on the abuse that they went through, and then you were like, okay, because she spoke about it, I feel like I have the strength in me to talk about it as well. So when Keke did it, she was like, you know what, we in this together because our kids are cousins, so we're going to do this together. You do it and I do it, and we do this shit together, and we get what we want through the court. And they don't make us feel small, because imagine if she'd been trying to get it through the court for the longest and he was threatening her. And like, imagine if, not saying that they did and all the other stuff, but imagine if she was trying so hard and was like trying to keep it peaceful, so she didn't want to do it. But then Keke gave her that sense of urgency. You know what? I'm gonna do this with you, and we're gonna do this together because we got each other's backs, being that our kids are cousins and all that other stuff. So yeah, and I'm just like I heard that scene right there, and then I seen that thing with Keke the other day, and I'm like, it's always like that. Why do women allow themselves, like, even, I'm not gonna say, because that's like a form of, I don't want to do that because that's like a form of victim blaming, but it's like no matter what a victim goes through, she's going to always feel the need to try to, I don't know, like protect protect the abuser, to try to make sense of what was the reason that he did all of that, when there's literally no reason. He just wanted control. He wasn't able to control you in these ways because y'all have a kid. But because you was the famous person in the situation, and you was making more money, and you was putting him on, he felt like, damn, she putting me on. I feel like I gotta have some type of control, because I feel like she running us. She running me. She giving me these opportunities. She putting money in my pockets. So it's not like I'm providing for her. She providing for me. That shit don't even sound cool. That sound like I'm feeling that life. So what I'm gonna do is spin it, gaslight, manipulate, and abuse her to make myself feel better, to make me all high and mighty. And then now, when I'm getting called out and on the backlash, I'ma just throw out a little Bible verse and give myself to Christ and put myself in the army so I could get some sort of discipline in my life to understand where I went wrong in the situation. But really, all they needed to do was heal, because they grew up in that type of environment when the mother didn't protect them. She couldn't protect herself enough to the point where she felt like she needed to put her kids before that situation. And then it was also said that because Kiki's mom never say anything, her mother never comes out and say anything. Kiki handles all that stuff by herself. But when this situation was happening, Kiki's mom came out and said, you allowed your kids to sit in a home with you, and while their father was physically abusing you, and when you finally was able to stop and y'all moved away from that, you allowed him to continue that same behavior with his own blood sister. Because I guess they have a sister, but Keke Palmer's kid's father had the same behavior towards his own sister. So it was like this is a behavior that could have been fixed, but just probably one of those mama boy situations where you felt like, no, my son can't do no wrong. And choosing your son over your daughter, and essentially just letting his behavior get worse. Because I'm sure when Kiki first met him, she didn't know anything about that situation, about how he was acting towards that. It just probably gradually got worse over time. And it's not like you can say, because you know how people be like, red flags, the red flags are always there, which they are. But sometimes people get in situations where they feel like they need to help people. They feel like they need to help. Oh, if I help him, if I do this, if it's me, he might change. That's literally probably what she was thinking in her head. Because she's always been the breadwinner of her family, she felt like, okay, I got the money, I got the resources, I could do anything, and I could put my mind to anything. She started her own network. So she felt like, okay, maybe when she got with him, he had his own little business or something like that, and he was getting to the money, but then he wanted to be an actor. Okay, you want to be an actor? I'm starting my own network. You can come over here and do this, And then when you get enough credits under your name and stuff, then you go to the big screens and all the other stuff. And then when you get your own money, then maybe you won't that's probably what people which I'm not saying what she could have been thinking, but I'm saying she could have been thinking, because a lot of people feel like they could be the one to change a person, when in actuality, that person will only change if they truly want to change. A man could see and that's the thing, a man could see what his mother has gone through his whole life just to turn around and feel like because his mother went through that, it's normal for him. So they're going to put the next person he's in a relationship like that. And it's just like it's a sad situation, because when you watch Keke Palmer and you go back to her history of being, she's never ever been in the tabloids until she got with this man. Never in her life. She's never ever been in a situation, especially a situation this bad. So, and then people starting to speculate that they could still be together because they've been taking pictures. I'm like, let's not assume anything, because remember, he's still the father of her son. So co-parenting has to be at an all-time easy peasy type of thing. Now it may not be easy, but we may just be seeing pictures like we've seen before. They was taking pictures, and we thought everything was cool until that one situation where she went to the Usher concert and he was like, "You a mom though?" Because he's never done that before. So why all of a sudden because you was posting pictures with her in her undergarments on your page, but as soon as she wear an outfit where it's sheer and you can see through it, but she's still covered up, you have an issue. I don't know. That's just it's like a delicate situation when you're dealing with somebody who's been in a domestic violence relationship. They try to be that person to keep the peace, but then it's like they try to keep the peace, but there's always something seems to be happening, or something must always be their fault. Like, I'm not even doing nothing. I'm trying to keep the peace. You're making me mad though. I didn't even do nothing. You keep talking it back. It's making literally. That's what victims go through all the time. It's a never-ending situation. And it's like no matter how many times they try to make the situation better, it just seems to get worse. They are lucky enough to get out of it alive, because femicide is at an all-time high. I think it's called femicide. I'm not sure if I'm even saying the word right, but like women are dying at the hands of their partners, at the hands of their husbands, even at the hands of people they not even in a relationship with, because like a man is trying to holler at them and they say no thank you, or they just strictly don't respond. And you know, some people can hear the rejection and they out of the emotions turn to anger and rage, and they just feel the need, oh, you reject me, so now I'm gonna hurt you. Like, it's like this is like a crazy situation. It's a crazy situation, and control, lack of emotions, lack of sympathy, anger, and rage plays a part in all of that. Like, I don't know what it is, but that shit has got to change. I can't believe I said all of this, because it is one little, but it's like the message needs to be said, and I'm just trying to understand, like, what is that? Why is that a thing? Like, what is that sense of control that you need to have as a man, that you feel to go out and cheat, and physically abuse that person that's supposed to be your partner? Like, I'm just not understanding where all of that comes from. Like, all it takes for you is to go to therapy, figure out what it is that you need from your therapist, what it is that you need to figure out about yourself. Think about your relationship with your mother or the relationship with your father, whatever parent that you don't have, the how your parents was raised. Like, what it is that you're missing that makes you feel like you have to act like that, when that's supposed to be the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, the one that you thinking about having kids with. And essentially, when you have kids and you're physically abusing the mother of your kids, and the kids start seeing it, they're going to think it's normal, and they're going to essentially grow up to do the same thing. It's just going to become a generational cycle. It just doesn't make any sense. I wish that all people can heal from that and get the help that they need, so they can open their eyes to realize that is not the way to go. It's not. It's really not. It's really not. And if you feel like you need to stoop to that level to get somebody to understand you, that's not, like, you're not doing anything but putting fear in that person's life. You're not doing nothing but putting fear in that person's life. And that's literally what you're trying to do. Trying to make that person fear you because of something that you can't control in your own life. All right. I think that was a good enough talk. I don't know what y'all think. I mean, y'all can let me know if y'all agree with me or disagree with me. Let me know what y'all think. Okay, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to hear from me next. Click the bell notification for every single time I drop a video and you'll be notified. Good night.